The Memory of Things. Chapter 1. Tuesday morning, 9/11/01. Bird. I move with the crowd, away from downtown Manhattan. We travel swiftly, but don't run. Panicked, but steady. A molten lava flow of bodies across the bridge. A crash of thunder erupts. Another explosion, and the flow startles and quickens. Someone near me starts to cry. A choked, gasping sound, soon muted by a new wail of sirens rising up my back. I stop and turn, stare frozen. People rush past me, faces twisted with shock and fear, mouths held open in O's. Others only eyes, where their nose and mouth have been covered with knotted sleeves against the toxic burning reek. I search for Kristen or Kelly or Mr. Bell, but I lost them all as soon as we got to the bridge. I don't see anyone I know from school. I don't see anyone I know. I press my sleeve to my nose. Don't think Kyle, just move. But feel stuck gasping at the place where the city has vanished beyond the thick brown wall of smoke. 2 planes have hit, 1 building is down, and my dad is in there somewhere. Jesus, kid, keep going. Some guy trips over me and looks back apologetically. It's only a movie. I'm dreaming. None of this is real. Come on, man. We should get off the bridge. Another concerned shove, and I'm in motion again, stumbling toward Brooklyn. My eyes to the ground, I watch my sneakers move forward, one in front of the other, my brain blocked against the sea of smoke, the confetti of steel and glass and paper. I watched rain down minutes ago from a 5th-floor window at Stuyvesant. A fighter jet streaks over us, cutting through the noise in my head. Walk, breathe, don't think about that. When I've almost reached the giant stone pillars that mark the Brooklyn side of the bridge from Manhattan, I finally look up again. Brooklyn looks clear ahead. All I need to do is get home. I push forward, step after step, gasping at song lyrics in my head. Start with lyrics for I Will Follow from Boy, one of my all-time favorites, then Promenade from The Unforgettable Fire. I really have to fish for that one, so it keeps my mind focused, which helps calm me down. I walk through the guitar chords, wishing I still played, trying to remember the fingering until I get lost in that and fall back in step with the flow. I barely register the wings, thick with feathers, of the enormous bird as I pass. It's hunched, curled up into itself in the shadows of the pillar. An eagle? A hawk? No, it was way, way bigger than that. I glance back as I walk in it, but I can't see it from here, over the head of the bridge, but I know I saw it, crouched near the edge of the bridge. I walk several more steps, then stop. What if it's hurt? It will only take a few seconds, I feel, like I need to go back. I turn and rush toward the pillar, as the crowd steeps forward around me. Someone yells, "Are you nuts, kid?" But my brain keeps seeing the wings. What if I'm losing it? What if I only imagined it was there? I call out, "There was something by the—" But it's pointless. They can't hear me above all the people and the noise. I slip through the crowd to my left. A woman catches my sleeve and says, "What are you doing, boy? Don't go back that way." I yank free. Something tells me I have to make sure. A few more feet and I see it, the bird, pressed down against the railing. Its wings are enormous. I didn't imagine it then. As I run toward it, it stands and spreads them wide. It leans out, about to take flight. Blank. I look down. Water glistens steel shadows. Noise and glass and black smoke. I can float there. Bodies and blood. I have wings that will let me drift down. The putrid smell of burning skin. Tow my face to the sun. To the mist and blue sky. Clear water below. Spread my wings to fly. Are you okay? Grab at the wing, but I can't get a hold. White feathers pull free, stick to my fingers, release into the air. My arm shakes uncontrollably as I reach out. "Stop," I yell. "Don't. The bird is not a bird, but a girl."